Idea of regrouping as Venom Incorporated. Where did this first originate?
Not from us. It was Oliver Weisenhammer at the Keep It True festival in Germany, and he was at the Brofest in Newcastle when Tony played with Adamcraft, and I was still living in England at the time, and Tony had said, would I jump up with Adamcraft and do a couple of songs? So I did that. And then there was another band there called Cauldron, and they asked me to jump up and do Die Hard, so I did that. And Abaddon was in the audience, and so was Oliver Weisenhammer. And he called Tony to book Empire of Evil for the Keep It True festival. And he says, oh, it was great seeing you up on stage. He says, well, it would have been great to see Abaddon get up with you, you know. So he says, here's the idea. You know, what about if you do an Empire of Evil set, and then do a short Venom set? And Tony called me and told me of the idea, and my initial reaction was no, I didn't want to do it. Myself and Abaddon hadn't spoken since 1998, and you know, we were heavily into Empire. We're doing a lot of work with Empire of Evil. And at first I was like, I don't really want to do that, you know. But we spoke some more, and eventually it was like, right, okay then. So by now, with me living in Portugal and the two Tonys living at the opposite ends of England, there wasn't a chance to rehearse. So we just swapped a bunch of songs and agreed on a short set list, and then we met in Germany and basically did it. What happened was just the reaction was far exceeded what we expected. It was incredible. And with social media, everything went up on Facebook and YouTube almost immediately. And then it just seemed like everything just lit up. And our agent called Tony and he said, fucking hell, I'm getting calls from China, Japan, South America. You know, people are wondering, is this going to continue? And if so, can they book it? And, you know, then we spoke again and we sort of agreed, okay then, let's just lay everything to rest and let's just go out there and do it and see what happens, you know. And one of the reasons, particularly with me and Abaddon, when we spoke, one of the reasons that we're doing this is just the way that we have been personally attacked and essentially tried to be written out of the history of Venom by Kronos. You know, he's sort of claiming everything, and he's had a free run for the last 10 years with no sort of objections from myself or Abaddon. I've just looked at the stuff that he's been saying and the stuff he's been doing, and thought, yeah, it's quite pathetic, to be perfectly honest. You know, verbally what he's been saying, but it was me that gave him permission to use the Venom name.
That's what you told me last time.
Yeah. And it was me who invited him into the band in the first place. He was the last person to join. You know, a lot of the songs were already written before he joined the band. The bulk of, 80-90% of what the hell Black Metal's mine. I wrote all those tunes. The logo is Abaddon's. He drew the original logo. So yeah, he was I'm not saying he was an afterthought, but he just came in as a rhythm guitarist. And then, to have this, and we thought, well, okay, let's do this. And when we do the interviews, let's just tell the truth. Let's just tell it exactly the way that it happened, not in some fantasy realm that he's created himself. This is the way it happened. And that's all we've been saying.
Now, I was talking to Tony before, just sitting down and just talking, and he said that there's a lot of press that kind of points the two Venoms against each other in a way. How do you feel about that?
I really don't give a shit. Mm-hmm. I don't concern myself with the other Venom at all now. I mean, the last interview I seen with them, you've got that guitarist sitting there who essentially joined from a Slayer tribute band. And he's saying, like, don't go for the pale imitations. It's like, excuse me, my friend, you are the one who are playing my riffs. I'm not playing your fucking riffs. I've got no intention of playing your riffs. And I've actually met that guy in person a few years ago, and he couldn't have been nicer. He was so humble, and he was really pleasant, and he was saying, like, oh, no, it's an honor to meet you, and, I'm trying to do the riffs and the songs the justice they deserve. And I was just like, hey, it's your time now. Go for it.
You mentioned the initial reaction of the first show was phenomenal. How did that continue from then on?
Exactly the same. Exactly the same. It was. We've just been to South America, and that was almost fever pitch. It was crazy over there when we went on stage. Absolutely fucking crazy. And I think it was Costa Rica, where there was a couple of shows that the security had to take us outside and put us in the van to get us back to the hotel. The van was rocking, and fans were surrounding the van. And it was incredible. We did meet and greets in record stores. There was queues up the road. A couple of the shows they had to put back to a later time to actually get the people in. One show they had to actually stop entry. They had to refuse entry to a lot of people. And it was just absolutely insane. Then in the last show in Sao Paulo, in the Mira, we finished some song, I can't remember what it was, mid-set, and myself and Tony, we always just turn around and take a quick drink of water and towel down, and this chant went up behind us.
I heard about that one.
I looked at Tony, and he looked at me as if to say, what? And he didn't realise what was going on. I looked at Abaddon. Abaddon was absolutely pissing himself, laughing. And I couldn't believe it. I just turned around and looked at him, and I just went like, I just shrugged my shoulders. And the chant, fuck you, Kronos, fuck you, Kronos.
Yeah, Tony was telling that
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
That wasn't instigated by us.
No.
None of this has been instigated by us. When every show we've played, we have never once heard Venom Inc, Venom Inc, Venom. And every comment that I've seen on social media, these guys are the real deal. This is Venom. The other band, somebody actually said today, I think, on some social media, I've seen both bands, and I'll never go to see Kronos' cabaret act again. It was, the fans are deciding, not us.
Mm-hmm.
We're just doing what we do, and it's taken me this long in my career to realise, because of what people have been saying to me about the sound, about how authentic it sounds, and how sort of old school, and like it sounds like the original recordings and all this kind of stuff. I'm using different equipment than I did back then. It's got to be something that comes from me. It's got to be something that comes from Abaddon. And it's taken me this long to realise that the actual sound of Venom comes from myself and Abaddon. There's some chemistry between us two, and I never got that. I really never got that. But now I've realised, and we spoke about it on the bus, and he said the same thing. He says, yeah, there's something between us, the way we play together. When I play that, because I haven't been in Venom for so long, and because I was with Empire, and I had another band called Drill, and then Mantas, everything was super tight in those bands, and I tightened up my playing and everything like that. Whereas now, it's just all fucking rock and roll riffs, and we're back to sort of bluesy stuff.
Very good point. Last time when I interviewed you, we spoke before you played. And then Empire took the stage, we did some Empire songs and kicked into Venom. And all of a sudden this massive energy just kicked in.
Yeah.
It's like, I know exactly what you're talking about. It was like you're just coming out of your body. Just that intensity that, I'm listening to this, I'm thinking, this is the Venom. It's not called Venom now, but this is Venom right there.
Well, you'll see even more of that tonight.
Yeah.
Now that Abaddon's behind the kit. Abaddon isn't the tightest drummer in the world. He isn't the greatest drummer in the world. I'm not the greatest guitarist in the world. But there's something between us two which just creates that Venom sound. And now that we've got the Demolition Man in, we've got an even more authentic Venom sound because the guy was there for fucking 3 albums.
That's right.
And we created everybody said when Primeval came out, that's Venom.
It is.
Yeah. And I've spoke to a lot of people who, through their journey of music, they have discovered Venom through Primeval and then went back to the other albums, Yeah. I've spoken, there was one guy last night, he had one album with him. He says, I've got every album you've ever done. He said, I've got all the singles, I've got everything. He says, but I just want one album signed. I was like, cool. He says, best Venom album ever. He says, I love this album, I play it all the time. And he took it out, it was Temples of Ice.
Very hard one to find these days.
Yeah. Well, we're working on that.
Actually, that's gonna be one of my questions.
Yeah.
Now, with Venom Inc., there are so many possibilities as to what things you can play. What are you concentrating on, and what are you planning on kind of bringing into the set?
At the moment, I mean, we open with Primeval, and then it's straight into all the classics. Everything's a classic, in the whole lot, right from Live Like an Angel, you know, through to Seven Gates of Hell. You know, songs that haven't been played a lot, like Live Like an Angel was never played a lot, Sons of Satan was never played a lot, so we've resurrected those songs. 1,000 Days in Sodom, you know, and Schizo. It's all there. It's all the crowd pleasers. And the joyous thing is when we start a song, is looking at the reaction of the people. You know, and I've seen guys turn to each other almost in tears, like, oh, fucking hell, when this song kicks in. Same for me, if I go to see Priest and they kick into Sinner. Say, oh, fuck. Yeah. But we've got a list of songs that we want to bring in. I mean, we want to bring Black Leather Priests, Carnivorous, Parasites, Black Legions, Temples of Ice. There's a lot of stuff we want to bring back in. We want to do Poison, we want to do To Hell and Back, Cry Wolf. It's all there to be done. I don't like that. I'm not a fan.
Not a fan, alright.
No, I think A War with Satan and Primeval are good albums, but I don't think they're great albums. I was never a fan of those two albums, personally. That's my personal opinion as a member of the band. I know a lot of people have said to me that A War with Satan is their favourite Venom album. That's fine. Then you get somebody who says Temples of Ice is their favourite Venom album. When we were here with Empire, I met a guy whose favourite album was The Wastelands. So there's no judging what somebody's favourite is going to be, and I think that's a good thing because it proves we've got a lot of songs which are personal to a lot. You know, everybody's different. You know, they're going to like different things. For me personally, when I get asked about it, 4 albums for me is always going to be Welcome to Hell, Black Metal, Primeval, and Resurrection in that order. And I think that way you see a good progression of a band in musicianship, in production, in songwriting. But for me, the 3rd album for Venom should have been Primeval. It should have been Primeval. That's, again, a personal opinion. A lot of people would disagree with me. That's fine. We're all individuals. We don't all like the same things. And then that's what makes us a wonderful race. We're not killing each other.
Now, as far as the atmosphere in the band, how are the 3 getting along?
Great. Yeah, at the moment it's great. We've sort of jumped on the roller coaster, strapped ourselves in, and just taking it as it comes. You know, I think at our age now, we know when to give each other personal space. I'm the quietest one out of the band, and everybody knows that. And you know, I'll be the first off stage, showered and back on the bus, just being quiet. But you know, that was never afforded in the early days. There was always all kinds of shenanigans going on, you know, and I was always the one sitting there going, "Fuck." I'm not a party guy. My party's on stage, and I've been to some of the biggest parties in the world. I've been the host. I've been clean and sober, and I remember every single one of them. I had a great time. So, but we're getting on good.
Now, we mentioned that some of the records, especially the late 80s records, are difficult to find these days. Are you guys getting your rights in your catalog back? How does that work?
It's all I can say at the moment is it's going to be worked on. We got somebody who wants to do it for us, who's within the industry, and basically it's all come down. Again, it's come down to control and Kronos not wanting those albums released because it's a conflict of interests at the end of the day. But he may say it is a conflict of interests, but in a court of law it's a restriction of trade. We've been stopped from earning a living by these albums. We haven't received mechanical royalties, we haven't seen publishing royalties because the albums aren't released. And why? Because one person doesn't want them released. There's thousands of fans out there who want to get them. I've spoken to people who have paid $100, $150, $200 to get Primeval off the internet. That's wrong. We should be able to do those albums and put them out. If we get those albums, when we get those albums back, we're going to do the albums justice. There might be extra songs on them, there may be slightly different artwork, we might do a box set. We'll do a whole celebration of that period, but it's got to be done. Okay.
Now, finally, a lot of people think being in a band is an easy thing, but it's a lot of hard work.
Yeah, it's hard.
What would you say are the challenges you guys are facing now in 2000s as opposed to things that went on in the early 80s?
Age.
Age.
You know, I've got a lot of guys who, you know, when we come off stage and we meet people afterwards, which we always do, you know, it's like, oh man, I felt 16 again, you know, and it's like, well, I definitely feel 54 right now. I'm hurting like a motherfucker. So yeah, I mean, you know, there's the age thing, but it doesn't stop the energy on stage. You know, everybody who's seen us have said, fuck me, you're giving the young guys a run for their money. The energy that comes off you guys on stage is unbelievable. And, you know, we can go on stage really tired, but, you know, once we kick in, we're in. Hardest thing for me, being away from family. That's the hardest thing for me, you know, being away from... I live in a very, very, very remote, quiet village in the middle of Portugal. And, you know, we get 3 cars in our village and it's a traffic jam. It's that quiet. And then you come out and it's absolute mayhem from beginning to end. As soon as you step on the bus and you're into the venue, and you know, it is absolute mayhem. And that's where I tend to withdraw. You know, I've got to take a step back at certain points. It's not because I don't want to meet anybody. It's just for my own personal sanity. Because I think, you know, when you get to our age, if you don't know yourself by now, you don't deserve to be on the planet. You know, so I know what I'm like. And I don't want to appear to be a party pooper, that's why I'll just go, right, I'm out of here, you know, you guys enjoy yourselves. But I think the challenges are, it's difficult, it's definitely that sort of physically getting up there and going for it, you know, 110% every night. But it's got to be, because you'll hear me tonight before we do Black Metal, I always give the fans a speech. I say it every single time, and I say the same thing every single time, and it's that the fans are the most important part of the music industry. And it's not the record companies, it's not the record stores, it's not even the bands, it's the fans. Because if the fans decided to stop buying music, every band on this planet is fucked. All the record companies are then fucked. That venue is fucked. You wouldn't be sitting here doing an interview. You're interviewing me because there's some guys who've paid to come and see me play.
Correct.
And they are the people, they're the engine, the lifeblood, the oxygen of the music industry. And how many times have you've seen maybe a new store opens up and it does well for maybe 6 months and then everybody doesn't go to the store anymore and then the store closes. That's because it doesn't have any support. We're lucky, we've had support for 30-something years now. And that's incredible. And I'll never take any fan for granted. You know, I've heard tales of the other guy, and we were in Toronto last night, and I'm very good friends with a huge Venom fan there. And he flew from Canada to Argentina, and he went back to the hotel to see the other guy. From Canada to Argentina, with a few Venom albums to get signed, and he was told, you know, twice that happened to him. And I've heard that from so many people. And it's like, you're not God. You're a human being, you get up in the morning, you take a dump and you make a cup of coffee. You're like everybody else. And it's only when you step on stage are you any different. What you say on stage tonight, with regards to me, is definitely not me. It's, I don't know, it's an extension, it's a release, if you like. It's like, you know, it's like an actor. You know, you go out there and you play a part. And that's why sometimes I've got to move away because I can't live up to what I am on stage.
Yeah. You got that balance.
Yeah, you've got to. And that's what the other guy never had. You know, it was always full on 24/7.
To take it out on the fans is not right.
No, it's not right at all.
I've met big time artists like Ronnie Dio, Ian Gillan, they would never refuse an autograph.
No, of course.
Never.
No.
It would be raining, they would still stop him.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I heard this interview where it's like, you know, this guy's saying, we're a band for the fans. And then Tony Dolan gets a message saying that they cancelled a meet and greet at a festival because their food didn't arrive on time. Well, that's fucking Axl Rose territory, that. You know, that is complete fucking prima donna fucking shit.
Yeah.
You know, you're looking at us now, we're all in our 50s. This is our home for the next month. You know, I don't see myself as a rock star. I really don't. I don't see myself as a rock star. I would rather someone come up and say, I think you're a great musician, rather than be a rock star. You know, when it comes to playing guitar, I've always said that if I was granted one of two wishes, to be the greatest guitar player anybody had ever seen on the planet, you know, would be the greatest songwriter. Always choose the songwriter.
Yeah, it's the songs that stay.
It's the songs, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's still what amazes me. When we kick into Countess Bathory tonight, you know, everybody will sing the chorus. It's great, and that's what's missing these days. Hook lines, choruses, and that's what you're going to get from the new album. Yeah, you're going to get it from the new album.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
It's been a pleasure again.
Always a pleasure.